Welcome back to viperrspit, and I'm back with another Bitcoin update. So for those of you that tuned into my video yesterday, you will know my plan for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So if you haven't checked that out already, do go check that out now. So as you can see, guys, Bitcoin is about to lose the monthly open. Of course, we are towards the end of the month now. However, what the plans was, if we did reclaim that monthly open, we can long get back to 88k. As you can see, we are losing this level. So if you did tune into my video, you will know that the plan now is to sweep this low here at 76, 77k, come into the 70k level, and then basically reverse from there. However, guys, just to let you know, it's a thing where we don't know how long we might spend down at this level here below 77k. We can spend a few weeks or even months ranging in this level. Okay, so that's also something to look out for. Don't expect an instant reversal should we come to this level. However, I'll be giving you guys updates all the way through when we do to this level, should we come to it, of course. So currently this plan is playing out nicely for us to come down to this level here. Okay, and we do have some additional confluence as well. Before I get into that confluence, I just want to let you guys know, of course, 12 months ago, we saw Bitcoin at highs of around 74k, and then we dropped around 34%, and we saw 48k then. Okay, so if we were to see a similar drop in Bitcoin from here at these highs here, Bitcoin can see 55k, but let's be more accurate. Let's draw from these highs here at the all-time highs. So if we are to see a 33% drop from here, you can see we come into this 70k level here, which would be very, very nice. So it's not uncommon for Bitcoin to have 30% plus retraces before moving up again. We saw the same in 2021 as well. When Bitcoin was trading at highs at around 64k, we saw a 54% down move for making all-time highs again, okay, before we went into this bear market. So it is very possible that we might see something similar here, or it is very possible that the move is done already. However, I do remain optimistic that as long as we do remain above the 70k level on the weekly time frame, we should head higher for Bitcoin. And as I mentioned many times, my target is around 130 to 140k. So essentially, I'm just looking for something like this. Come into it, reclaim the yearly open, goes 140k before we see any significant downtrend on Bitcoin, which will confirm another bear market. So that's essentially what I am looking out for in the next few months, mainly going in towards the end of the year. I don't expect this move to happen straight away. However, short term, guys, Bitcoin is not looking great, and this is due to USDT dominance. So for those of you that haven't used this already, it's a very good indicator to show you where Bitcoin is going to go in the next few weeks to months. And this is why I do believe we are short term or even mid-term bearish Bitcoin. So if I go to the daily chart here, we can see that USDT dominance has been very, very bullish, which hasn't been good for the crypto markets overall, which is reflected in the price of Bitcoin and other cryptos as well, especially Ethereum, which has not been doing great at all. So looking at USDT dominance, we can see here we have broken out from this diagonal resistance. Okay, so it is broken out here, and you can see it's been going up since, and we do have some resistance here at 5.5%. However, we are looking at the main resistance at 6.5%. So if I zoom out to the 3-day again, so you can see more clearly, you can see the level that I am looking at exactly. And I do believe this will be a significant level going forward. And just to show you guys how the confluence works, so if you see here from 22nd of January, USDT dominance has gone from 3.7% all the way to 5.8%. And if I show you guys the Bitcoin chart from 22nd of January, you could see from the 22nd of January where Bitcoin was around all-time highs, you can see it's been down ever since, and USDT dominance has been up ever since. So should this continue to keep going up, Bitcoin should go to that 70k region we have discussed. So USDT dominance is looking very, very bullish, as I have mentioned. So the next step for USDT dominance, if we do not reject here, okay, is for it to flip this level here at around 5.6, 5.8% and go into this 6.7, 6.8% region there. And as I mentioned, should this happen, Bitcoin should see 75k or less in the next few weeks to months. So this is just something to keep an eye out for. You might see a strong move here. If you do see a strong move, just be very cautious in your Bitcoin longs. As I mentioned, spot is always king. So it is something you do want to pay attention to. Make sure you're picking up your Bitcoin spot at these prices if you do believe Bitcoin can double and see prices of 140k in the next year or two. And as I mentioned already, Bitcoin is something that you remain optimistic in, and unless we lose that 70k level, I don't believe it will be a confirmed bear market just yet. We can call it a range market if anything, but I don't think it will be ideal to call it a bear market unless we get some proper information. Okay, because as I mentioned, we saw a 33% down move from 74k all the way down to 49k, and we were still in a bull market. It was just a few months of chop from March to August, around September, and then the market started to reverse again. So we can see something very, very similar here. So you can see last summer was very, very bearish. And again, we can see the same thing this summer. We could see us ranging from this 70 to 80k level this summer for exploding towards the end of the year, which is exactly what happened last year. And should it happen, I do believe this will be very healthy for the markets. You get a lot of great opportunities for these altcoins as well. As you can see, Bitcoin dominance is on a tier, and hopefully we can get to that 64% level, so we can confirm a bottom on these altcoins, and then we can see the reversal and the sharp drop. And this is where altcoins would double and triple in the span of just a few weeks. So always make sure you do have cash at hand. Of course, this is not financial advice, but this is just how I tend to plan it. Having cash at hand to play these mega bounces when it does happen towards the end of the year. And this is why I do believe Bitcoin should start reversing at the end of the year because of USDT dominance and just because of what happened last year. I do believe sometimes history does repeat itself, and I do think it might happen in this case. So let's just see what happens here. Of course, not making any promises at all, but this is just how I feel the market will plan out towards the end of the year. And if you also take a look at SPX as well, SPX is looking very, very bearish on the 3-day chart. And as I mentioned before, unless we can reclaim this level here at 5,800, 5,900, SPX is looking like it's going to go to 5,100, which won't be good for stocks in general or good for the markets at all in general. So that's another added confluence as to why Bitcoin can go down to the 70k level I have been banging on about for the past few weeks. And yeah, this would be nice, and basically the whole market should recover should we get something like this. So I will wait for something like this to play out on SPX, USDT dominance, as I mentioned, my plan, and also Bitcoin is 70k. So this is my general plan for Bitcoin and the market in general for the next few weeks, and I'll be keeping you guys updated as much as I can. Make sure you do follow me on X as well for the latest updates. I have the link in the description below if you haven't followed me already. And like always, guys, do leave a comment and do subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.